Girls, guys, gays and theys, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mcvloglin Awards. So as I mentioned in the Year in Review 2020 video, this Mcvloglin Awards video is going to cover both 2019's Mcvloglin Awards, which would have been announced last year, and also this year's Mcvloglin Awards, which are all about 2020. So it's a double bill of Mcvloglin Awards. As a result, some of the discussion around why certain songs, albums, artists, videos and beyond won their respective awards will be a bit shorter in this edition because we've just got so much to get through. As I mentioned in the Year in Review video as well, I'm just going to cover it here. I did film a Mcvloglin Awards video last year, however, unfortunately, due to time constraints and the fact that I'm a piece of shit, I didn't ever finish editing it. So I've decided that instead of going back to last year's video and just finishing what I already recorded, fuck it. We'll refilm it because I make positive decisions. I've also just realised that I haven't yet poured myself a drink, so I'm going to pause recording just for a moment so I can carry on drinking my way to bed.
2 hours later.
So my drink of choice for this year's awards is the Whatever I've Got In mixture, which has Tesco orange and mango juice, cold water from the fridge, some lemonade, but a slimline Schweppes lemonade, so you know, watching the figure, some amaretto, a little bit too much, and a splash of strawberry Ribena just for that nice colour. It'll get me through. On the note of drinking, I have had a couple already and a bit tired. I've had a bit of a stressful week at work, so I've already been prone since our morning team meeting to swearing, including but not limited to dropping the occasional C-bomb. So now I've had a couple of drinks and I'm now going through another. We will see how this goes. I already feel like I'm putting on a voice like a Tory, which I'm not really enjoying, but hey, fuck it. I mean, if that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing apparently. So we are going to be kicking off with the Best Single Award, so please do enjoy the snazzy graphic that I've made. I'm not just going for a banner like in 2018, we went all out on the 2019 ones, and personally, I think they look fucking beautiful. And the nominees are Reboot by Waterparks, Bad Guy by Billie Eilish, Watch What Happens Next by Waterparks, Filthy by Waster, Frail State of Mind by the 1975, and Wiley Flow by Stormzy. And I've got the results right here on this snazzy, can I just say, snazzy card wallet that my good friend James got me for Secret Santa. We literally only did our Secret Santa the other day. It's beautiful. Look at it. Oh, it just glimmers. Hang on a sec. The camera's still focusing on me. I want it to focus on that. There we go. It's just... oh. Anyway, the results are in here. So without any further ado, it's just peeping. The winner for Best Single in 2019 is Frail State of Mind by the 1975. I didn't really like it the first time I listened to it, and the second time I listened to it, instantly it became the one thing I wanted to listen to for the next 2 months. And, you know, lyrically, obviously incredibly relatable, and I still listen to it a lot now, so a very deserving winner. The next award, moving swiftly on, is Best Album for 2019, and the nominees are Ammo by Bring the Horizon, Phantoms by Marianas Trench, Fandom by Waterparks, State of Mind by The Fame, Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone, and Heavy as the Head by Stormzy. And the winner is Ammo by Bring the Horizon. This album just fucks, really. It's so fucking good, and yeah, I love it. I still listen to it all the time, but I pretty much constantly had it on in 2019, and you know, I make a monthly playlist for each month on Spotify where I just dump shit into, and I'm pretty sure all of them probably have some tracks from that album. It was just brilliant. I really enjoyed it. So our third award to be awarded, fuck me, our third award to be announced is Best Album Track. This is basically an award dedicated to best song that was on an album released in 2019 but was not also released as a single. So, the nominees: Sugar, Honey, Ice and Tea by Brim with Horizon, Heavy Metal by Brim with Horizon featuring Rahzel, Killing Kind by Mariana's Trench, Worst by Waterparks, I Miss Having Sex But At Least I Don't Want to Die Anymore by Waterparks, or Pull Up by KSI featuring Randolph and JME. And the winner, very slowly revealed, is The Killing Kind by Mariana's Trench. This song is just fucking beautiful. It's a beautiful way to finish the album. Mariana's Trench are kind of known for doing these big cinematic songs, particularly to end albums, and go and listen to it. Just, you know, headphones in, dark room, close your eyes, listen to it, and honestly, it's just different. It's just, you know, another level, and you know, they just are amazing. Oh, you can tell I've had a couple drinks, fuck me. Right, moving on to Best Live Artist for 2019, and the nominees are Enter Shikari with Confidence, the 1975, 21 Pilots, Lower Than Atlantis, or Mariana's Trench. And the winner is Enter Shikari. There are a few moments that make you smile, quite like seeing the whole of Brixton clapping for Sorry You're Not a Winner. But I've spoken about them before because I think they've won this award before. They're just incredible live, and I'm very glad to have seen them, even if I've now had a gig postponed twice because of COVID when I was going to see them, but we'll get on to 2020 later. So next we have Anthem of the Year for 2019, and the nominees are Shade by Trash Boat, I Like America and America Likes Me by the 1975, Morph by 21 Pilots, Wonderful Life by Brim with Horizon featuring Danny Filth, Medicine by Brim with Horizon, or Frail State of Mind by the 1975. And the winner, I don't know how well it's capturing on the screen because the wall is a similar colour to the top here where the light catches it, but I'm really enjoying it. The winner is Medicine by Brim with Horizon. This one was probably one of the easiest ones to decide. Some of them are genuinely really difficult, despite the fact this is just an award ceremony that I made up and run for fun on my YouTube channel. This one was really, really easy because it came out in like January, February time, and instantly I was like, I like this song, it's a good song, this is going to be a good album. And I was right. And yeah, I listened to it anyway, and I really enjoyed it, and then through the year it became quite relevant to you know, situations that I found myself in, and then on top of that, it was the first song that I used in my singing lessons with Nick. It's the first song that we properly went through. It also then ended up being my top song of the year on Spotify. So yeah, next up we come to the Spotlight Award, which I introduced in 2018, and it's not necessarily hypocritical, but just to give a brief thing, it's basically just me pointing out an artist that maybe doesn't have the biggest following, but that I really like, I think deserves more of a following, I think people may like or appreciate, and you know, just some of those less well-known artists that I quite like. I know obviously I say that as someone who currently has 54 subscribers, but you know, it makes sense for the name of the award anyway. And when it comes to this award, once you win the award, you're no longer eligible to be a nominee anymore. The nominees are Finn O'Brien, Castle Hill, Iron Warface, 2 Year Break, Centuries, and The Dead Love. And the winner is Finn O'Brien. This is partly to do with music, but also partly to do with the fact that he also runs a successful brand which I've bought clothing from before. I know a couple people, he's like a friend of a friend, I guess. I have mutual friends with him, but I don't actually know him personally. But yeah, no, he makes some good music. The song in particular that I really liked in 2019 was Rapture, and also he has, you know, a brand. Shit like that, I'm always big on people creating their own shit. So yeah. We then come on to Best Event, and the nominees are Enter Shikari's Stop the Clocks tour, the 1975's Music for Cars tour, Progress Wrestling's Chapter 95 Still Chasing, 21 Pilots The Bandito tour, Christmas spent in Derbyshire with my family, and Lower Than Atlantis The Final tour. And the winner is... I'm enjoying that way too much. 21 Pilots The Bandito tour. Now obviously I decided these awards a year ago, and so this was beginning of 2020, me making these decisions. I'm just reading them now. With the 2020 awards, and I will come on to it a bit more later possibly, I've sort of taken out some of the personal events, like something like Christmas in Derbyshire. I think it's a bit weird to try and point score them against gigs or whatever, because it's a totally different kind of thing. I've kind of disqualified that kind of thing from future awards, basically. Although I do find it quite funny that in this instance I just said, no, I'm gonna nominate it, but it's not gonna win. Sorry guys. As for the Bandito tour, it was just super cool. 21 Pilots were my favourite band for years. There were months at a time where I pretty much exclusively listened to them. I've cosplayed as Tyler a couple times. You know, I have a 21 Pilots themed tattoo, and it was the first tattoo I ever got. So obviously they're a pretty big fucking deal to me. And so, you know, when I saw them the first time, it was at Reading Festival, and it was kind of ruined by shitty crowd and got cut short. So being able to see them at their own gig at Wembley with like their own production value, their own freedom to do what they wanted, with my school and college friends, some of the people who I've known for like 10 plus years at this point. It was just wild. It was amazing, and I loved every second of it. So we have 3 more awards left to go before we move on to 2020. And the next award is the favourite video that I have created, where I basically just get to jack off all over the camera and be like, look how fucking good the videos I made last year were, or in this case the year before. And the nominees, I don't know why I'm doing this with my hand. The nominees are Year in Review 2018, the Mcvloglin Awards 2018, What Do You Want? Sounds fucking aggressive, doesn't it? Or It's Been 8 Months, ... And the winner, which is going to be a problem because I have a drink in my hand, so I'm going to have to try and... The winner, I'm doing all of this like I don't already know what the winner is, like I decided what the winner. Anyway, the winner is the Mcvloglin Awards 2018. So I love the Mcvloglin Awards. I think they're hilarious. I think they're stupid. You know, I think it's super dumb that I get dressed half up into a suit and then piss about for an hour, making up awards categories and then giving them out and talking about them like anyone gives a shit. But it's something that when I was 15 and 16 and 17 and 18 and I wanted to make YouTube content, but I shared a room with my brother, or I was too embarrassed to do it while my parents were downstairs, or I didn't have a good enough camera, or whatever the fuck it was. It was something that was always in my plans. It was something that even before I did YouTube, in the hopes that I started doing it partway through the year, every January I would come up with what the categories were going to be, and all through the year I would write down the potential long list of nominees. So I feel like if I didn't do it now, the younger me would be so fucking pissed off. But at the same time, it's also just dumb fun. I really enjoy doing this, and I know I didn't finish it last year, which is why I'm doing 2019's awards now in February 2020, but honestly, you know, I do really enjoy it. It just, with that, the editing was it just went on forever and it was super tedious, and you know, the way I was doing it wasn't making me happy. But I do love these videos, and the 2018 one as well, you know, there's some sloppiness in there where I'm talking about my parents, there's some stuff where I'm talking about all sorts of music that I love. You know, it's a really fun video, and I do really, you know, I do really enjoy it, and it is one of the things that I've gone back and watched again later. So our penultimate award for 2019 is YouTuber of the Year. And the nominees are James Marriott, I'm Alex, Vanos Gaming, Sidemen, Cody Co, and Curtis Connor. It's a lot of sounds towards the end of that. That was quite satisfying. Anyway, without further ado, the winner is the Sidemen. So this might be a controversial one. I don't know. I don't know if people still think the Sidemen are cool, or if, you know, other people in the list are more cool, or, you know, whatever. I just think the Sidemen in that particular year, I used to watch a lot of their videos when I was eating my lunch, or when I was eating my dinner, if I was, you know, I ended up living in a flat on my own for a while. And it was just dumb fun a lot of the time. It was just a group of mates taking the piss out of each other, playing games, doing obstacle courses or whatever shit. And at the end of the day, if me and my mates all lived together and didn't have to work 9 to 5s and all the rest of it, I'd fucking do exactly the same kind of shit. I'd have a group channel and make videos about dumb shit and taking the piss out of each other. Of course I fucking would. And they're making money out of it, so what's not to love? It was just enjoyable content that I would watch while I was on my own. It just sounds a little bit kind of depressing, but hey. And now we are on to the final award for 2019, and that is the Icon Award. Now this, I like to picture it almost as like a Hall of Fame for my life kind of thing, just people who inspire me, people who've had an impact, people who I think are people to look up to, and who I look up to in some sort of way relevant to the year in particular. There's no nominee list for this. For something like this, I think it's more of just this is the person being inducted into that proverbial Hall of Fame. And so for 2019, the individual was Greta Thunberg. It was for a variety of reasons. Her commitment, her will, her, you know, persistence, wanting the world to be just a better fucking place at the end of the day, but also combined with her ability to deal with the criticism and the backlash from people with such dignity and class. Obviously, later on down the line, she's got the last laugh with people like Donald Trump, where she's been able to reference some of the shit things that he said, or some of the times that he tried to pick on her, despite the fact that she's a teenage girl and he was president of the... My voice doesn't even want to say it, that's how fucking awful it was. President of the United States. And especially considering her age, at the end of the day, if people, you know, if Donald Trump or Piers Morgan was saying the shit about me, or trying to bait me into an argument or anything like that, I'd call him a cunt. I'd call Piers Morgan a cunt anyway. I mean, I know that he's been better during the pandemic in terms of calling people out, but he's still a bit of a cunt, you know. So yeah, back on topic. I think Greta was really inspirational, both for the cause that she advocates, but also the way in which she does it. I think she's really quite an inspiring figure, and a figure who I hope and believe that history will look upon kindly. So that is the Mcvloglin Awards for 2019. Those are all of the awards now announced. Let me know what you thought, if you can remember 2019 after the shit show that was 2020. You know, I know it feels like a long time ago talking about some of that stuff. But yeah, please do let me know if you agree, if you disagree, maybe if you think there was someone that I missed from the nominees, or even if it is a case of you think that one of the other nominees should have won one of the awards. Please do let me know. Other than that, do leave a like, and I'm going to go and get changed, and then we will be back for the Mcvloglin Awards 2020. Covering the winners that would have been announced last year, so the... I definitely just spilled something on the floor, fuck. Oh, that's strong. I'll make a good outtake. Anyway, I think this is usually the time where I go for a shit catchphrase like the lights are on, the cameras are running, it's time for the Mcvloglin Awards, but honestly, let's just fucking get started. It's going to be a long evening. Oh, fuck, I fucked it. That's why medicine became, that's why medicine So yeah, that's why Medicine is the winner of the award that I temporarily forgot the name of. Next up, we come to the Spotify. Look, man. Hello, and welcome back to the Mcvloglin Awards. I don't know if you can see, but talking with this has my glasses steaming up, and my ears are sticking out like the kid from that one Vine. Anyway, it is now time for Mcvloglin Awards 2020, and this is gonna be such a long video to edit. Oh my god, this is not coming out till at least March because I'm not getting this done before I've moved. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. It is time for Best Single of 2020, and the nominees are Broke Bitch by Tiny Meat Gang, Level of Concern by 21 Pilots, If You're Too Shy, Let Me Know by the 1975, Satellites by Enter Shikari, Sick Joke by Neck Deep, and Low-Key as Hell by Waterparks. And we're carrying on with this, so the winner is Low-Key as Hell by Waterparks. This one I was really torn because there were a lot of really good singles, but I think Low-Key as Hell was pretty much on repeat for about a month and a half, and has got me very, very hyped for the Waterparks album whenever it drops. Already a potential contender for 2021 album of the year, and it's not even arrived yet. I'm so far up Waterparks' arse, it's not even a joke. We now move on to Best Album of 2020, and the nominees are Glue by Boston Manor, After Hours by The Weeknd, All Distortions Are Intentional by Neck Deep, Notes on a Conditional Form by the 1975, Wake Up Sunshine by All Time Low, and Nothing Is True and Everything Is Possible by Enter Shikari. And the winner is James, because it's getting so much screen time. And the winner is Nothing Is True and Everything Is Possible by Enter Shikari. So very much like I was saying with Ammo by Bring Me the Horizon in 2019, there were just songs from this album since it came out in April, and even before, where there were some singles that came out earlier in the year. It was just always in my listening cycle. There was always something, and it was just so appropriate for 2020. Again, if you haven't listened to this, it may not be everyone's cup of tea. There's a lot of variety on the album, including some classical shit if you're into that. But just go and listen to it. It sums up so much of 2020. It's such a great soundtrack for the clusterfuck of a year we just had. It's beautiful, and I would really recommend it. Moving on, the next award is the Album Track Award, and the nominees are Kingslayer by Bring Me the Horizon featuring Baby Metal, Pushing Daisies by Neck Deep, Tonight I Wish I Was Your Boy by the 1975, Modern Living by Enter Shikari, The Pressure's On by Enter Shikari, and Crossing the Rubicon by Enter Shikari. No prizes for guessing the fact that Nothing Is True and Everything Is Possible was my favourite album last year. Who'd have thought? And the winner is Modern Living by Enter Shikari. There were so many good album tracks, even just on Nothing Is True, Everything Is Possible, hence the 3 nominations. Modern Living, I think, is just, it's so appropriate for 2020. It's a great song anyway, and it has me counting down. I'm counting down anyway to the next time I see Shikari live, as I kind of mentioned earlier on when they won Best Live Artist for 2019, but Modern Living is one of those songs that I really cannot wait to see live. So yeah, Modern Living by Shikari, album track of the year. We now go on to Best Live Artist for 2020, and the nominees are Waterparks, And they are the only band that I actually saw last year. I did have plans to see other bands, for example. And Shikaru announced an album release show for Nothing Is True and Everything Is Possible on my birthday, and then COVID happened and it got cancelled. And then they announced their UK tour, and me and my brother booked tickets for the date on the 18th of November, and then COVID happened and it got cancelled. Well, it got postponed to this year. I also was planning on seeing Neck Deep, and then COVID. So yeah, I only got to see Waterparks last year, so by default they are the winners of Best Live Artist. However, I don't want that to sound like they only won because they were the only gig. It was an amazing gig. I went with Connie, and we went to Electric Ballroom Brixton, which is a venue I'd never been to before, and the venue was sick, and they are just amazing. They absolutely blew the roof off the place. So yeah, Waterparks, Best Live Artist of 2020, also only Live Artist of 2020, but not to take anything away from them, it was amazing. Next, we move on to Anthem of the Year for 2020, and of course 2020, such a volatile year, such a crazy year, also a year of, you know, ups and downs for me personally, heartbreaks, also falling in love, and also, you know, the first year that I was really making great progress towards making my own music. So much potential in this category, made it so difficult. There were so many songs throughout the year that meant so much to me, and as well, you know, working from home, I listen to music all day while I'm working. I listen to so much music. My Spotify minutes listened to for the year rose dramatically, to the surprise of absolutely fucking no one. So this was a really difficult category. There's so much going on, but the nominees are, I don't know why I got quite so excited and hyped this up so much, but anyway, the nominees are Be My Mistake by the 1975, Dunno by Headache, Loneliness for Love by Lovely the Band, I Miss Having Sex But At Least I Don't Want to Die Anymore by Waterparks, Level of Concern by 21 Pilots, and I Feel Good About This by the Mowglis. I don't know quite why my hands were clapping on every single nominee, kind of like this. Anyway, and the winner is Level of Concern by 21 Pilots. So much like with 2019, the Anthem of the Year award went to the song that was also my most played song on Spotify for the year. Now, this isn't necessarily causation, it is a correlation. I don't just go with whichever song I've listened to the most on Spotify. However, with Level of Concern, it came out and I didn't like it on the first listen, much like with Best Single of 2019, For Our State of Mind. I mentioned I didn't really like it on the first one. I thought the name Level of Concern and the way that they worked into the lyrics was a bit forced and whatever. And then I listened to it a second time and I was like, yeah, I fucking like this. And it just became my vibe throughout lockdown 1. I listened to it so fucking much. It was also then on the inspiration playlist for Drag Yourself Forwards when I was working on that EP, and then again as we sort of headed back into lockdown towards the end of the year, it just became so relevant again. And you know, it's that kind of simple hope and an uplifting feeling while still being about the current events. Hello, Editing Stephen here from April. First of all, sorry that this is super fucking late. After moving, there's some stuff going on in my personal life for a little bit, and I've also been creating a campaign for me and my friends to play D&D. I've never DM'd before, but I've decided to write a campaign from scratch. So I've been a little bit busy with things and getting settled in, but as you can see, different room. I'm saying that like I shot many videos in the last flat. But I've also been looking at upgrading my laptop. That's another reason why this hasn't already been out yet and why it may still be a little while before other things are on their way, because my laptop is really old and it's really struggling, particularly with this video. With the amount that I've filmed and the amount I've had to edit, I've had to move editing and the files and everything onto an external hard drive because my laptop doesn't have space to be able to process it anymore. And it's really slow and old and struggles sometimes with both Premiere and Ableton, which are two of the main things that I want to be doing with it. So I'm going to be upgrading my laptop. I don't know exactly as a result when that's necessarily going to be finalised, and therefore when I'm going to be working on other projects. I know obviously I did the video where I was like, oh, there's loads of things coming soon, and there are, and hopefully there will be, and you know, there's a lot of stuff that I want to be working on, but it makes sense before I really start working on anything else in particular. Anyway, just wanted to interject a little bit. I'm editing this at the beginning of April now, and the last 24 minutes of footage, which is coming up in an edited format, which will be much shorter than 24 minutes. The lighting went a bit rubbish. I've enhanced the lighting on most of the footage already so far, but on the last bit it really started to nosedive. I think the batteries in my LED light were starting to die because I was quite drunk, as I'm sure you can tell. I didn't really notice at the time, so I tried to sort of fix it, but I just thought I would add a little thing to be like, the lighting really sucked in the last bit. But yeah, I just thought I'd pop in, especially as, you know, again, most of this I filmed in like February and it's now the 2nd of April, so I kind of just wanted to say hi. So yeah. So we are on to our last 5 awards. That is right, 5 awards. I don't know why I'm doing this, I'm just a little bit tipsy. So next up is the Spotlight Award for 2020, and the nominees are Forever Emerald, Yours Truly, Sam, Traceless, Hot Milk, and The Rills. And the winner is Sam. Kind of like with Finn for in 2019, Sam is someone who I have a mutual friend with. He's a friend of a friend, although I don't know him personally. And I think for me it certainly it inspires me. It's like, okay, this is someone who, you know, they're a real person. It's not just someone far off I didn't know exist until they made music. This is someone who is friends with one of my best friends. They're a real person, and yet they're able to make music of that quality themselves. And so it's kind of that, can I be that friend? Can I be, you know, the person who someone else sees as, oh, Steven's so-and-so's friend and he makes music, so maybe I can do it, you know, that kind of thing. I've seen in the last week or so he was featured on a BBC show, and just, you know, I think he's really going to, he's going to become more popular, and he absolutely fucking deserves it because he's super, super talented. Next up we have Best Event. Now again, this was one that was limited in its nominations because of COVID, the fucking bitch, cancelling loads of shit that I would have wanted to do. So we do still have a couple of nominations, but it's not the full 6. So the nominees are the Fandom Tour at Electric Ballroom, the annual ball that my work put on at Radisson Edwardian Hotel, which is where I wore this jacket and ripped it, or the University of Bedfordshire Student Union election night, which, yes, even though I'm no longer a student, haven't been for a couple of years, I did end up going along to because some of my friends were there and I was going to visit them that weekend, and some of their friends were then up for election. And the winner is the Fandom Tour at Electric Ballroom. So obviously I talked about this a little bit earlier when I was doing the Best Live Artist Award for Water Parks, but it was just amazing. It was a really great gig. I miss gigs so much. If COVID could please fuck off so that I can go and see bands again, that would be wonderful. It was also great because I got to see my friend Connie, and we don't get to see her all the time, so it was really nice to be able to catch up. It was really cold, so we went and got a Costa first and just sat and chatted. Yeah, it was a really great time. And we bought matching jumpers as well. We bought matching jumpers. If you follow me or her on Instagram, you would have seen. It's actually one of 2 jumpers that I own that I'm pretty much scared to wear because they are bright white and I love them, and I'm just so fucking scared that I'm gonna spill a drink or dinner down them or get them muddy or something, you know. It's just because I love it so much and I don't want to get it dirty, and I'm so fucking clumsy. It was actually a year ago the other day because I'm filming this on the 5th of February. And the gig was the 2nd of February, I think, last year, so I've officially not been to a gig in over a year, and that makes me very, very sad. I'm gonna make one more drink real quick. It's now time for the favourite video that I've created in 2020 award, and the nominees are Year in Review 2019, Week 1 of Lockdown Listening, I'm writing these notes so that I don't text you, Week 2 of Lockdown Listening, Meltdown, and I Shaved My Head. Notice how there's no Mcvloglin Awards because I didn't fucking finish it. And the winner is... Week 1 of lockdown listening. I'm writing these notes so that I don't text you. I think this video in particular means a lot to me for 2 reasons. The first is the music. It was the first time I'd really posted a song and made it available. I promoted it to about 20 or 30 of my friends to go and watch and be like, hey, look, I made a song. Go and listen to it, please. And I got some feedback. For instance, one of my best friends, one of my school friends, Seb, said to me, also, props to the lyrical work. It was great and depressing, which was pretty much exactly what I was going for. If you can't tell from the song name, I'm writing these notes so that I don't text you. Kinda depressing was the vibe. So obviously it wasn't perfect, but I was really proud of the song. And the other reason is it was the first week of lockdown. I was lonely, and the introduction to the song is a short vlog where I talk a bit about lockdown and how I hope that the people watching it are doing all right as well, and how, you know, we're all kind of in this together and my messages are open and all of that kind of shit. And it's nice to look back, and I'm glad that I recorded the vlog section to it as well, just to sort of see, you know, where I was at the time, how I was feeling. You know, I think that video does hold quite a place in my heart, as does the song. We are now on our penultimate award of the evening, and it is YouTuber of the Year. And the nominees are What Culture WWE, Cody Co, PewDiePie, KSI, Vanos Gaming, and Cultaholic Wrestling. And the winner is What Culture WWE. So I don't really know how much I've talked about it on the channel, partly because I don't remember everything I've ever said, and partly because I am definitely feeling the alcohol. But I am a wrestling fan. I have been since I was a kid. It was something my parents were into, particularly my dad. And I think during my teens there was a point where I kind of got a bit out of it, and then I kind of got back into it. I think one of the great things is it's something that my dad is still into as well, and so it's something we can chat about and watch and have a laugh and all the rest of it. But it is something that, you know, it's filled with a lot of nostalgia for me as well. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and people probably think it's a bit shit or childish or whatever. And What Culture WWE and Cultaholic Wrestling were both channels that I watched a lot. Again, kind of similarly to the Sidemen in 2019's awards. I watched a lot of their videos while I was eating, particularly because I was often eating on my own, whether it was lunch or dinner. And so I'd often watch, you know, their videos. It was close between the two of them, but What Culture, particularly Simon Miller, is just a really entertaining presenter. I enjoy the content that they put out, so in the end it was What Culture WWE that won that award. We're now on the final award of the evening. If we could get maybe a drum roll, maybe some trumpets coming in, something like that, that would be great. And so it is the Icon Award for 2020. What a crazy year. There are no nominees, so let's get right into it. The Icon Award for 2020 goes to one Marcus Rashford. It goes beyond football. It's not about what he did on the pitch, it's about the pitches that he made to the UK government. And yes, that is the kind of pun that I make when I've had too many drinks. Ultimately, Marcus Rashford put a lot of pressure on the government and spoke directly with Boris Johnson, who is a twat. No puns there, just straight to the point. But yeah, he put a lot of pressure on the government in order to get them to still provide free school meals for kids while obviously schools were closed over the summer and with lockdowns, and really has become a champion for the working class. And I think, you know, really he is one of few sports people who has really transcended sport and is just a hero to the whole country. So yeah, Marcus Rashford Icon Award for 2020, and that is the last of the Mcvloglin Awards. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be lots to look forward to in the future, so please do subscribe, give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and yeah, I will catch you in the next video from my new flat, which will be exciting. Bye for now, keep safe and well, all the best, and I will see you in the next one. So, let's fucking get into this. And the nominees are Broke Bitch by Tiny Meat Gang. Sorry, I can't. It's the intensity that I said that with. Also, I don't know if you could quite see. It's not even that arm, so you definitely couldn't see, but there are two rips in this. There's a rip like here, and there's a rip in the back. I don't know how visible it is. I bought this jacket, I've only worn it like out to an event once, and I ripped it in two places that night, so I'm getting some more use out of it now in a YouTube video. The winner is, I was about to say the winners are, I'm really not fucking good at this. Feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed me getting slightly, not even slightly, getting quite drunk.